got to say I'm absolutely delighted to be welcoming Bruce Foxton from the Jam to the bass sessions tonight. Bruce, thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
Pleasure.
And I know we're backstage at the Robin in Bilston, and as we're going to probably hear some sound checking going
the
on.
racket they're making in the background.
A second night of a smattering of UK gigs.
Yeah.
You're playing through April, May. I know you're doing some in July, so London, even a festival as well.
Yeah, well, we've got London, Brighton on the 23rd of this month, and then we're doing one other at Bristol.
The Brighton one's sold out already.
Yeah, that's going to be a great day.
And so, I mean, as I say, the Robin here, you almost a fixture, 15 years.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing how everyone comes flooding back, you know, when you're sort of a couple hundred yards away, so you know exactly where it is, where the parking is, you know, where the side door is. It's like coming home again.
I mean, really, Stiff Little Fingers, 15 years.
Yep.
And now second, third time with From the Jam.
Yeah.
Not nice to be back in the Midlands?
Yeah, I mean, it just seems the Midlands upwards in terms of audience reaction are just more positive, more up for it. You know, I don't know, you know, London's always good. Down south is good, but I don't know if they're maybe spoiled for more bands. I don't know if it's that. They just seem a bit more blasé about bands playing there, you know, whereas Newcastle last night, they just went nuts, you know, great gig, you know, just there to hear the music and have a good time. And that's how it is, Midlands upwards, yeah.
I think it's going to be the same again tonight down here. You always kind of get a really good crowd in.
I'm sure it will be.
And you've had a career that now has stretched 5 decades, 70s, 80s, 90s, noughties, and now where we are in 2011.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, the Jam were certainly one of the most influential English bands, hugely loved by a lot of people. I mean, it's a huge legacy to be carrying around. 15 years with Stiff Little Fingers, solo work, Casbah Club, and now we are with From the Jam.
God, I'm aging by the second. You telling me how much we've done, you know.
Well, what does keep you motivated at this point, really?
I just love playing.
Yeah.
Like you just touched upon, love playing, like going out there, performing in front of an audience, seeing the audience reaction, having a good time, and as long as, you know, there's people that want to hear us, and, you know, it's great to play that fantastic catalogue of Jam songs, and we're still as enthusiastic about playing them as we were all those years ago, because there's been such a big gap.
Yeah, I was going to
and it's just satisfying. Yeah, we're putting some new songs in the set.
Yeah.
You know, 2 or 3 new numbers, brand new ones that you know, we'll be recording with Paul Weller a bit later in the year.
Yeah.
And they're going down great. It's really, you know, I was very nervous initially. Well, like the Jam were many years ago, you go out with a new record and you wonder how it's going to go down, how it will be compared to what you've done in the past.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't know, we just got lucky with the set order, the song order, you know, we've just positioned them just right, it seems, because obviously the crowd don't go as nuts because they haven't heard the song, but the reaction after each number has been really, really good, really favourable. So I'm encouraged by that. You know, Russell Hastings, lead singer himself, you know, we're pushing on with the intention of finishing. We're about halfway through the album.
Right. I was going to ask you about that. I mean, with the songwriting, I know you two have kind of become a bit of a unit with that, haven't you, with the songwriting?
Yeah, we've been finding our feet, and Mark Brzezicki, you know, he's been playing a big part in it as well.
Yeah.
And now we've got 3 or 4, but I think we've got about half a dozen songs.
Well, later today was October, was the download?
Yeah, that was kind of one of the first, I suppose. But that won't be on the album. Obviously, we're going to have all what, you know, even newer material.
October 2010 is old news now.
Well, yeah, it is. It feels like that. You know, we've done it. So that's. I'm encouraged by. I love playing the Jam songs. Yeah. I'm encouraged by we've got new material. And the public so far seem to rate it. So
it's great the fact that you're kind of moving forward with it.
Yeah, that's what we want to do, because I mean we could keep churning out and playing all these great Jam songs for years to come, but it would be nice to think we're also moving forward a bit.
I was going to ask you about the Jam songs. I mean, obviously there are the ones you're always going to be playing, Town Called Malice, you know, Tube Station, etc., etc. But is it good? I mean, you did have that very big break in between playing these songs. I mean, obviously yourself, you've had to go back. I mean, did you have to relearn stuff? Was it was it great listening to yourself all those years ago, thinking, bloody hell,
I mean, like we put Beat Surrender in the set about 6 months ago, and only because we were travelling somewhere on the road, and either Russ or Mark, we heard it on the radio, and he said, why don't we put this in the set? And I listened to the bass line, and I thought, I don't know, I can't remember that. So, you know, I had to go back and relearn it. So quite a few of the songs I've had to, you know, it's a bit embarrassing if the Paperboy comes around or whatever and I'm playing a Jam song, you can hear him sort of thinking, let it go, you know, it's 30 years, move on, you know. But I mean, most of it come back, but there's certain sections in the songs you thought, well, what did I play there, you know?
I was going to ask you as well, I mean, you've been doing it now, time does go so fast. I mean, about 4 years now, to 2007.
What was that?
You came back with From the Jam, was it about 2007?
Yeah, well, I mean, 2006, I was in a band called Casbah Club
Yeah.
with Mark Brzezicki on drums, obviously, and Simon Townsend, Pete's brother.
Yeah.
Pete Townsend, Simon is Pete's brother, rather.
Yeah.
Get that right. Get tired. And we were on the same bill as Rick had a band. Rick Bunner had a band called The Gift, of which Russell was lead singer in that, and
Yeah.
they were playing all jam songs. And my band, Casbah Club, we did our set, and then inevitably, they said, look, you and Rick are in the same building, you've got to come up and do a couple of numbers. So we did a couple of songs, and the reaction from the crowd, because it was obviously the first time I played with Rick for 28 years or whatever it was, it was so emotional, and it transferred to us, and Rick myself loved it. And so, at the end of 2006, I wish Russell would shut up in the background there.
No one rings me.
So at the end of 2006, I did a few more shows with The Gift. I did 2 songs originally, so I did like half a dozen, and slowly each time I guested with them, we extended my slot.
Yeah.
And then 2007, we said, well, look, there's obviously a demand there. People, do want to hear those songs.
Yeah.
And although it wasn't full-blown jam, that's why hence it's From the Jam.
Yeah. But I think
it was the closest they were going to, the public were going to get to seeing the jam reform. And
yeah.
so, 2007, we said, well, let's do it properly.
It's that kind of material though, isn't it? It's from that time, and there's a lot of bands like yourselves, the Specials, bands like The Clash, I mean, obviously with Joe gone and stuff, but people would always go out to see that because it meant something, and it was never faking it, it was from the heart, and it was kind of heartfelt, wasn't it really, the material, and you took the time to meet the fans, you took the time, you took your feet on the ground. I mean, you guys were huge, and yet you were still...
that came kind of just second nature of meeting the fans, it was just, well, why not? I think that's, like you said, that's what kept us reasonably level-headed throughout, throughout our peak of the career, etc. It's just, well, we weren't, we were just fortunate, we had a talent there, and Paul particularly with his songwriting, that we were good at it, but we didn't get carried away with it, and we didn't actually do much of the hanging out at celebrity parties and getting in, the equivalent to hello or whatever, it just wasn't us. I didn't need that, really. We just wanted to take out, we're playing music and we want to play to people, and the rest of it, all the sort of trimmings of hanging out and getting in the Sunday papers, didn't interest us.
And it comes across, people still remember you for that. And can we just touch on, it's great that you and Paul are kind of back talking. It's tragic circumstances for both of you, the brilliant. But you played the Royal Albert Hall and did 3 songs, I believe. And
on his birthday, on the 25th of May. That was very. It was just fantastic. Obviously, it was very nerve-wracking.
Don't start with the small one, will you?
to come off, to come on at the end of his set, basically, when he's been doing, at that stage, I think he was only into his 2nd or 3rd night, but he sold out 5 nights at the Albert Hall. Yeah. He's huge. Paul is, still so successful, quite rightly so. But it was great. Again, a few years' time, people are saying, well, what were the highs of your career, that's got to be way up there. Again, the reaction was so 5,000 people got up on their feet. It was just a fantastic...
Honestly, the emotion...
it was very emotional, and just great to be on stage again with Paul.
Yeah, all those years just kind of drop away.
Like you said, sadly, with my wife passing and John Weller, Paul's dad and the Jam's manager going, they're very, very sad circumstances. But and that, again, it's cliche, but it makes you realise how life is too short, and this was, what did we fall out over? It's pathetic, so trivial. It puts it all in perspective.
Right, we'll finish off now, but I'd like to just go back to ambitions and plans for From the Jam, because I know a guy in Germany who's absolutely desperate for you to go and play over there. So
where?
Germany.
Well, we're always talking about where can we play, and we'll go where it's feasible, where there's interest and where it's feasible. We've all obviously got to earn a living out of it. So that kind of might restrict to certain areas, but if there's a demand anywhere, we'll get there.
Great.
We were talking about we want to get back out to Australia because we was out there in 2008, and there's a load of expats out there who never thought they'd hear the Jam song played by 2 members of the Jam again. And that was fantastic. So America, so East and West Coast maybe, because as great as it is, I'll get that. I said, not at the office. It's great as it is playing the UK. You know, we can't tour the UK 52 weeks of the year.
No.
And yeah, I mean, there's one guy probably saying come and play Germany, but
I don't know.
if there was enough interest, we would go. But it cost X amount to get the whole shooting match out there.
Yeah. It comes down to that, unfortunately. But I wish you all luck with it. It's fantastic. I mean, I've caught you a few times. It's a brilliant show, and I'm going to be hanging around for tonight. And
it'll be good.
We really do appreciate you taking time to talk to us on the day sessions.
No, pleasure. Thanks a lot. Cheers.